Thank you very much indeed, and I am delighted to be back in Wales. I'm always delighted to be back in Wales, not least because of the opportunity to listen to incredibly eloquent and moving speakers, and thank you, Michael. It was a wonderful talk. Wonderful talk. I'm here to reassure you that by 2050, we will have created this amazing, fair, compassionate, sustainable world that every single person here, and I suspect when given half a chance, every single person across the length and breadth of this country hopes will be what our future looks like. Because it may surprise you to know that there aren't actually that many people who get out of bed every morning with the explicit intention of trashing the prospects of life on Earth so that all future generations have an utterly miserable time of it. Not that many people. I've met a few in my life. I'm sure you've met some too along the way. Difficult to avoid sometimes, but by and large, we all still feel that sense of obligation, whether it's captured in formal legal conventions through the UN or captured in our own heartfelt sense of obligation to our own children, grandchildren, our communities, and so on. We all have that sense that we need to do a good job, not just for ourselves today, but for all future generations. And that, of course, is the heart of sustainable development. I have been doing sustainable development for a very long time, 40 years in fact, and 4 years ago, I suddenly came to the conclusion that I hadn't really checked in on whether or not a genuinely fair, sustainable future was still available to us. I imagine some of you have the depressing experience of reading quite a lot in the media about how it is already too late to deliver this good world for people by 2050. That these converging crises, accelerating climate change, biodiversity extinctions, resource shortages, collapsing ecosystem services, the whole litany of the terrible consequences of our abuse of the natural world. I'm surrounded by people who tell me that that is so awful, an accumulated consequence that we're not going to be able to do this sustainable world by 2050. I call them the too late brigade. They're quite depressing. Because every time you hear them, and they are often fearsomely eloquent as well, you sort of think, okay, you may be right. I'm not quite sure what that does for me. As